Hello and welcome to the Watch News channel. I'm Nick and this is the Mr Jones Ricochet, a quirky watch from a quirky UK London-based brand. I've been a big fan of Mr Jones watches ever since I came across a Vinked Mill on eBay many moons ago. That was a quartz watch with a mineral crystal. I think it was like one of their first releases because I think they utilize sapphire pretty much across the range now. I then bought a Last Laugh. That was an automatic with sapphire, and it was one of the newer ones. It was very, very nice. Unfortunately, I did have to sell both of them when I was looking to raise a bit of cash. So off they went. But I couldn't be without Mr. Jones. So here we are with the Ricochet. If you're new to the channel, oh, well, thanks for joining us. You'll find us a very welcoming bunch. And returning subscriber, it's so nice to see you as always. I think you know where the biscuits are. I review and talk about watches. I'm a watch enthusiast, so I get in quartz watches, automatic watches. Doesn't really matter to me. I like a watch. So that can be from AliExpress. It could be micro brands. It could be the big boys if I can get them in. I upload about once a month. I do this as a hobby. What's that? What am I wearing? This. Oh, it's Spaghetti Scameti iCon. A modern watch for a modern man. Mr. Jones watches are made in limited numbers, and they usually sell out really quite quick. The Ricochet is available on the Mr. Jones website right now, as they've had a restock, and you can pick this up for $420, about £325. So let's have a look at it and see if it's something that you want to pick up before they sell out again. What do you get when you buy a Mr. Jones watch? Well, you get a nice rectangular box, reminiscent of the watch display boxes of old. You have a nice outer sleeve that has some artwork on it, and a little porthole showing off the rear of the watch. I believe the artwork is same on all the models, so the little window probably helps them know what's in what box, to be honest, when they're sending the watches out. Under the outer sleeve, you have a nicely designed plywood type box, again with the MJW branding. And then within the box, you have an instruction come warranty card, which has information on the design of the watch. In this case, it's Ryan Claytor, an award-winning American comics creator and professor at Michigan State University. And Ryan is on one of the Facebook groups I'm on. I can't remember which one. But I remember how giddy he was when the Ricochet was first released. And I think it sold out within a day. I think it was within a few hours. And we had a couple of messages back and forth, and he seemed like a really nice guy. 12 months warranty with Mr. Jones watches, which is not great, but I've never had any issue with any of the ones I've had, nor have I heard of there being any problems with them on any of the groups. And of course, one Ricochet. Before we talk more about this gorgeous style and do a bit about the stats of the watch, I think we should see what you get from another brand, say Spaghetti Scameti. So with Spaghetti Scameti, you get a box that's black and has got Spaghetti Scameti written on it. It's definitely a box that's been lined, covered with some paper. It feels alright actually. It's not rough on the fingertips like some boxes are. And then inside, you have the Spaghetti Scameti icon, a beautiful two-tone rose gold and steel watch underneath this little bit with some Velcro on it for some reason. There is the bit of the middleman, an eyeball. It's still wet. Let's just put that to the side. And then we have a card or it's the international warranty card. It's already done. It's 30 seconds in from opening the box. That's how long your warranty is. So the warranty's over, but there is a nice card advising you of that. And you get a certificate of authenticity. That's a fridge magnet. I mean, do you see any brands giving you certificates of authenticity as fridge magnets? I don't. This is like cutting edge stuff. So we take the watch off the little roll here. Have a little closer look at this box. Look at that. Clever lined. And the watch itself. It's actually got stickers on it, keeping it protected. That's right. Protection stickers. Amazing. All right, let's have a look at some of the stats then of the Ricochet. So I'd like you to pay attention to the time on the screen. As you can see, it's just gone 12:55, coming up to 1 o'clock. So the Ricochet is powered by a Seagull ST1721 automatic jump hour movement. It's 20 joules, it's got a 42-hour power reserve, and is fully decorated, according to the website that I had a look at, talking about the movement. I did try to take the case back off my Ricochet, and I just ended up scratching the little bit where you try to pop it off. So I didn't do a good job there. So I've left it because I didn't want to do any more damage. So I'll pop up a picture of it instead. So the case and bracelet is 316L stainless steel. The bracelet, of course, being a Milanese bracelet. You got a 37mm case size with a 46mm lug to lug and an 18mm lug width. 50 meters of water resistance with a press down back, which, considering that I couldn't get it off, is pretty well pressed down. So you're going to get those 50 meters, and a sapphire crystal. Eagle-eyed viewers may be wondering now why the watch is showing 12 o'clock, as when we started this segment, the watch was at 12:55. Well, there's a little issue with the time telling with this watch when it's on the hour. The disc for the minutes rotates to 0 before the hour clicks onto the next hour. This is because the minute disc is in 5-minute increments. So throughout the hour, you've got a decent grasp on what the time is within 5 minutes. But on the hour, if you look at your watch just as it's about to click over, you could well be an hour out. Of course, this watch isn't about accurate timekeeping, it's about having a piece of art on your wrist. But it's definitely something to keep in mind when you're wearing it. Mr Jones watches were founded in 2007 by Crispin Jones, an artist himself and designer, after he created a series of non-functional watches for a successful art exhibition, which questioned the very function of a watch. He started with 5 different designs, one of which I really liked and have considered buying a few times, which is the Accurate, a memento mori watch that has "Remember, you will die" on the hands. Initially, Crispin was the sole designer, but then he started working with some designer friends to come up with some new dial designs. One of those being Fanny Shorter, who designed the Vinct Mill, the watch I owned and mentioned earlier. As Mr. Jones has become more well known in the watch circles, the popularity and the fact that they are released in limited numbers has meant that he's created a strong collector following. And in the last year or so, I've noticed certain models will sell above retail second-hand. All the Mr. Jones watches are now assembled in London, as well as the creation of the main artistic elements being the printing of the dials and applications of the foils. So the individual colours in the Ricochet are printed one by one, and then the metal foils are applied by hand, cleaned and then backed with a varnish for protection. The watches are then assembled and tested by a small team in the Mr. Jones London workshop, and Mr. Jones watches take many hours to produce. If you go to the website, they've got some great videos of them doing the work, and I'll leave a link in the description, of course. I've just talked about how Mr. Jones watches can take many hours to produce by hand. Well, how does that compare to Spaghetti Scameti? Not very well. The iCon is produced in 1/10 of the time, in many numbers, with no hands getting involved at all, apart from maybe to take it off the conveyor belt to pop it in the box. Meaning that your iCon is cutting out all that need for artistry and quality checking. Unsurprisingly, the website gets the details of the iCon spot on, so you know exactly what you're buying. That's to make sure that it wears the best on every size wrist, including the larger wrist. 9.5mm thickness, making sure to utilize that superior quartz movement, making this watch as thin as possible. The tin skin 3.0 case, a revolutionary anti-scratch resistant alloy, which has scratched and there are a few dents on it already. Fragilite crystal, in-house outsourced dial protection. It's not sapphire, and you wouldn't want it to be. This is something revolutionary. The Ricochet has a laser engraved caseback detailing the creator's name and made in London. Interestingly, the case is actually a singular milled piece of steel, which I feel adds to the overall aesthetic of the watch, with the image being applied to the underside of the crystal. It almost all feels like one piece rather than separate parts. You have what almost looks like an additional crown, but it's actually a little MJW medallion on the left-hand side of the case. And then the watch is supplied on a Milanese bracelet with quick release spring bars and a MJW sign buckle. The Ricochet is unsurprisingly inspired by the world of the pinball arcade. The three metallic robots engrossed in the action of the pinball machine are gilded by hand in different metallic foils, palladium, 20 carat citron gold, and a 22 carat rose gold. The scoreboard of the game then displays the hours and the minutes. And the Mr. Jones website states that Ryan Claytor, the creator, has a deep love for pinball, and that the image considers the links between the game and time. I'm going to read you that quote now, and I'm going to do so in my best Arnold Schwarzenegger impression, as I feel it's most fitting. Pinball is essentially a game of timing. Flip a fraction of a second too soon or too late, and you'll miss your intended target. In its more transcendent moments, though, a game of pinball can almost mystically remove the player from any concept of time. When engrossed in a game where shots are being hit, progress being made, and previously locked achievements are realized, pinball has the capacity to transport the player out of time entirely. Rest assured, though, that Ricochet will be a faithful temporal reminder once you resurface from this engrossing experience. Beautiful words, I'm sure you'll agree. I find it really interesting to hear the creator's idea of what the image represents on the Ricochet, as I have a totally different view. I have always liked Mr. Jones' Memento Mori watches. I mentioned the Accurate earlier, and I owned a Last Laugh. I like the symbolism between time and death. A bit morbid, I know. How a watch is basically ticking off what time you have left in this world. And for me, when I first saw the Ricochet, I instantly thought that the image was the aftermath of a robot uprising. All the humans are gone, and the robots can spend some leisurely time playing some pinball, which is completely different to what the artist envisioned. What comes to mind when you look at the image? Leave me a comment and let me know. So let's talk about the good, the bad, and the meh. So the good, the design is sharp and really pops on the wrist. The sheen coming from those gold and silver coloured foils has a great juxtaposition against the matte colours of the pinball table in the background. Speaking of which, the top section is not on the crystal, giving it a nice depth to the image. Uniqueness then, granted, more and more of these are being made, but still in limited numbers, so not every Tom, Dick and Harry are likely to have one. And of course, it's very dependent on your own style. I've got a watch enthusiast friend, Mr. Stone, who has a perfectly useless afternoon, which is a really popular model, but I just don't really like it. Can't say why really, it just doesn't appeal to me. But that's good, as that means there will be a Mr. Jones for you, and not everyone will necessarily like it. But it's your watch, so it doesn't matter. The bad, no bad really, apart from the crown is quite small, and being an occasional wear watch for me, I find the need to wind it up when I put it on, and the crown being so small doesn't make it a pleasant experience. The meh, the supplied Milanese bracelet, I've picked up similar bracelets from AliExpress for a couple of dollars, a couple of quid. Quick release spring bars and a signed buckle, but it's not great. I've been wearing it mainly on this Gekota strap that I had in my old strap drawer, and I think it matches really well, so this is why I keep it on. And what about my overall thoughts about the Spaghetti Scameti iCon. Well, it's a watch. It's a watch that wears on your wrist, tells the time. It's got a complication. That complication is free hands. They're good. It wears well on the wrist. 6.75-inch wrist, slim profile, unique icon design, looks great. The bad. The bracelet being made out of tin skin and being lighter than titanium might put some people off, but that's their problem. The meh. There's nothing meh about the icon. Well, thanks for watching. I hope you've enjoyed this review of the Mr Jones Ricochet. Let me know in the comments if you plan on picking one up, or if you are going to look at one of the other models. I mean, there's so many interesting models to choose from. It's definitely worthwhile a look. If you've enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe. Please like and subscribe. Please, I need it. I'm close to 1,000 subscribers. I did mention in my previous video that I would be doing a giveaway. It's going to be a Seastern S434 that I'm giving away, and I'll do a separate video once I hit 1,000 subscribers, sort of announcing the giveaway, and then I'll do another video then choosing a winner. It's going to be you've got to comment on the announcement video, and then I'll choose a winner out of all the subscribers that commented on that video. Taking a leaf out of Gary from Just One More Watches book there, because I know that giveaways can be a bit susceptible to scammers, so we got to be careful of that. There's links to the Mr Jones website and the Spaghetti Scameti store, where you can purchase your own Spaghetti Scameti, or some amazing merch. I think they've got t-shirts. I think there's like a mouse mat. There's a few good things on there. Check it out. Check it out. Check it out. So that's me for today. I really hope you've enjoyed this video, and it'd be great if you leave me a comment. Any suggestions are welcome, be that whether there's any watches you'd like me to consider getting in for a review, or any suggestions to improve how I do these videos. Okay guys, I'm going to leave it there, and thanks again for joining me, and hopefully I'll see you in the next one. Cheers.